between him and the front office. But I will say a lot of people are kind of piling on the Rockies as if they're this terrible team with no chance. Let's keep in mind they made the playoffs in 2017 and 2018. At this time a year ago, we were talking about a team that had made back-to-back postseasons and have the most homegrown players of any postseason team. The Rockies have a tremendous amount of talented young homegrown players on their roster. Their issue has been just playing the wrong guys ahead of them. Like Ian Desmond should not be playing every day. Daniel Murphy probably should not be playing every day anymore. The Rockies have talent there, and it's just a matter of, okay, can Kyle Freeland, Antonio Senzatella, German Marquez to a bit of a lesser degree really rediscover the form that made them such good pitchers 2 years ago? If they can, there's no reason this team can't compete for the playoffs again. Again, this is a really good, really talented team with a mix of youth and veterans, and I think it's a mistake to write them off. It just comes down to the pitchers kind of figuring some things out and getting back to their prior form.
And where do you see, like, which teams do you think that has the best ability when it comes to pitching? Which team do you think has the best pitching starting in spring training, like, if you can predict that?
Yeah, I mean, look, you have to look at the rotation the Yankees have put together. If you're looking at, a healthy a healthy Luis Severino to pair with Garrett Cole, obviously losing James Paxton to an injury certainly hurts, but there's plenty of depth there. You get Jordan Montgomery back after he had an injury a couple of years ago, Tommy John surgery. Oh, by the way, Masahiro Tanaka's still around, and maybe J.A. Happ continues. Maybe he can reverse course a little bit after a disappointing year last year. I mean, to me, the Yankees have 3 or 4 guys who you could put at the front of the rotation for a lot of different teams: Cole, Tanaka, Severino, and Paxton when he's healthy. To me, this is the best starting pitching staff in Major League Baseball right now. But, again, injuries are going to come up. We've already seen Paxton go down. Severino, we have to see how he comes back. So pitching is always kind of fluid, and things can change on a dime.
And which team do you think has the best hitters? Like, I know that the Astros had a really good batting average throughout the year, throughout the past season. Like, are there other teams do you think that you had in mind during spring training that can have a really good batting, like that can have a high possibility of having a really good batting average throughout the season?
I mean, the Dodgers have a chance to be a murderer's row, assuming this Mookie Betts deal comes to fruition. This was the highest scoring team in the National League in the last year. Now you're adding Mookie Betts to the fold. I mean, you're looking at, Max Muncy. If Corey Seager can come back completely, healthy, he hasn't been quite the same since returning from his injuries, but, we'll see if he can bounce back. He's still young. You have Justin Turner. You have the reigning MVP and Cody Bellinger. You have guys like Chris Taylor, Enrique Hernandez. We saw Will Smith come up. You have Gavin Lux ready for a full year. I mean, there's so much talent, so many ways that this team can beat you offensively. Now you add Mookie Betts to the fold, and, even if you get something out of A.J. Pollock, who truthfully wasn't terrible last year, I mean, this is to me, potentially the best lineup in baseball.
Yeah, it definitely does sound like a done deal right there. I mean, that would be definitely a sight to see, especially. I'll definitely keep my eyes on that for sure. I also know, another question I wanted to ask was about the Philadelphia Phillies, because I've overheard some people who are, Phillies fans, I would say, as a matter of fact, that said they need another third baseman. Is that true, or do you think their roster could be solid during spring training?
They needed another third baseman, and they didn't get it, and they also needed more starting pitching, and they didn't get it. The Phillies are in an interesting spot because they have some really good players, but some of their young guys, took steps back. I mean, very quietly, Rhys Hoskins took a step back last year. Scott Kingery, you don't really know what you're getting from him, and again, you're not putting him in his natural position, his best position to play. Adding Zach Wheeler was a nice addition, but you're telling me you really feel comfortable going into the season with Zach Eflin, Vince Velasquez as your 4-5 with, only Nick Pivetta and Cole Irvin backing them up? That's tough. Is Adam Hazley really a true everyday center fielder? I mean, there's a lot of issues on this team. Again, you have JT Realmuto, you have Bryce Harper, you have Aaron Nola. There's star power here. There's no question this team will be good and respectable, but I see more holes on this team than I see on the Braves or, frankly, even the Mets. I actually think the Mets are going to be better than the Phillies this year, as they were last year without a lot of fanfare.
Wow, yeah, that definitely going to be another sight to see. And do you have any? So, besides the Dodgers and the Astros or the Red Sox, what are some other key takeaways that are leading into spring training that you've noticed so far?
I mean, I think one of the biggest things we need to watch is the White Sox and how their young guys look. If Ronaldo Lopez and Dylan Cease have come back and made some changes and really, maybe they can pull what Lucas Giolito did last year, going from really, really not a great place to one of the best pitchers in baseball. These are two very talented young kids. And if they are, able to pitch their potential, all of a sudden the White Sox have a pretty good rotation to go with a really, really potentially great lineup. See how Luis Robert looks, see how Nick Madrigal looks. The White Sox really stocked up this offseason. They have a lot of really, really good young players to work with, guys like Tim Anderson, Yoan Moncada, Eloy Jimenez. All they need, in my book, is for those young pitchers at the back of the rotation, potentially Lopez and Cease, and also look how Michael Kopech looks coming back from Tommy John surgery. If those guys look good to go, I actually like the White Sox as my sleeper in the American League to win their division and make the playoffs.
Oh, exactly. That's a good point, too. And I know it's like, skipping to the opposite side of things is, like, when you look at the mediocre side of the teams, like, for example, like the Baltimore Orioles or the Detroit Tigers, like, do you see any way they can possibly, like, improve in the seasons to come? Because they've been they were extremely bad this past season for sure. But do you see any hope in those two teams of making up for, like, those those bad records?
It's going to be at least another 2 or 3 years. With the Tigers, what you like is they have the pitching, right? You have Matt Boyd, you have Spencer Turnbull with the majors. We have to see if Michael Fulmer can come back healthy. You have guys like Casey Mize and Matt Manning and Tariq Skubal in the minors. You like the pitching they're building and see potential there for them to, do some good things. But they've got to add bats, lots and lots and lots of bats to this organization. They are way short on bats at every level. You look at the major league team, C.J. Cron and Jonathan Scope are two nice additions, but they're not long-term solutions. I mean, Victor Reyes right now is the only guy on this team you say, yeah, he might have a long-term role in the major leagues with them. They need to find 8, 9, maybe more hitters that actually project as everyday guys. Kristen Stewart maybe is a part-timer, but that's it. The Orioles, it's going to be a while. Again, this is a team that is letting good players walk away for nothing, like Jonathan VR. Their pitching, they traded Dylan Bundy for not much at all, kind of a bag of potato chips. I mean, it's going to be a long time before the Orioles are competitive again. They have some interesting young guys to work with, Austin Hayes, Ryan Mountcastle. They're kind of like Anthony Santander. Trey Mancini's good. He might get traded. John Means is a nice pitcher, but the impact guys that they need to, start competing with the rest of the AL East, I mean, they're 3 years away probably, and then there's only a couple of them. They need at least 3 or 4 more of them than they currently have. So it'll be a while, and I would just say for the fans of those teams, just watch individual players, enjoy those guys, and don't worry about the wins and loss record, 'cause it's going to be ugly.
Oh man, I feel bad for fans for Orioles and Tigers. I feel bad for them. Maybe a few, like you said, like maybe 2 to 3 more years, they'll see something like start to change. But like, do you have any additional information you'd like to add, like leading into spring training?
No, I'm just glad the games are about to start. Obviously, it's been a wild off season. We saw a lot of free agents signed for a lot of money early in the process, which was a nice reversal from last year. And then everything that happened with the Astros, the sign stealing, and how that just completely blew up. I mean, that whole week was absolute insanity. And, the Twitter rumors and Carlos Beltran's niece, it was just absolute insanity. And then, we get to everything now with the Mookie Betts trade. I'm just happy that we're going to start seeing games on the field, which at the end of the day is what we all became fans of and what we all love.
Yeah, I'll be like you said, like once this thing becomes like a done deal, especially for the Dodgers with the Mookie Betts trade, that'll really bring a lot of heat to the LA area for sure. Like that'll be exciting to watch. That'll definitely be exciting to watch for sure. But that'll do for now. Again, I appreciate you coming on the show, Kyle. Like that was very informative. Like I enjoyed talking with you about baseball leading into spring training, and I'd like to have you on again, like throughout the season, and see where we can go from there.
Yeah, absolutely, anytime.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, that was Kyle Glaser. It was a complete honor having him on the show, especially when a guest like him can break down the topic, starting at the crust, going from the crust to the mantle, to the outer core, all the way down to the inner core. And he definitely brought it with him, and I hope to have him on again in the near future. So moving forward, again, this was episode 49. So in the next episodes, I have a couple lined up for sure this week, and then I'll try to add some more solo episodes in due time. But yes, definitely be on the lookout for some big names out there, especially like Kyle Glaser. Definitely stay on the lookout for that because it's coming. Just like Ed Orgeron said, we're coming. Okay, that was probably a terrible reference, but hey, you get it anyway. So I hope you guys enjoyed episode 49, and I'll be back with episode 50 very soon. Peace out.